Yizzo!
Peace, Queen. How are you?
You know what?
That the Lord hath made.
Not Sable making money in the middle of a round curl.
God help me.
Be nice.
Jesus.
I've been better. That Yizzo took a lot out of me. To be completely honest.
These past couple of weeks, it's just decreasing.
Yeah, we'll get into it. I'm great. I'm actually really grateful. It's been a hard couple of weeks, but I have never been more grateful in my life. And we will get into it, Sheila.
And this is the week of gratuity.
Yes.
This is the week of reflection.
Don't start, please. Because I hear it in your voice that you
not being timely.
What's crack-a-lacking?
Girl, this is a very crazy week. I am exactly 7 days from opening in the Christmas Village. We'll be opening in Philadelphia at the Love Park, the Sable Collective. And it is just a raw cabin in this moment. And I have to paint it, outfit it, throw shit up, train staff, market, back end computer POS stuff. I got a lot of stuff to do. I got so much to do.
When does it start?
Thanksgiving Day.
That's terrible.
Isn't it? Just ripping me of tradition, ripping me of rest, quality time.
And that's not what people shouldn't be out shopping on Thanksgiving. They should be with their families. They're
trying to, I think it's over at 4:30, but it's supposed to be open for the Thanksgiving parade, which is happening downtown.
And that's also, that parade's dumb too. I said it, but never mind.
It is.
It's dumb. It's cold.
Go stay in the house.
Exactly.
What the fuck you doing? They're taking your kids outside too. They need rest.
And
anyway,
I never understood the parades and such. I'm like, whatever. Who's cooking? Anyway.
Maybe that's how women get men out of the house. Frank, get out of the house and go take the kids down to the parade over on Market Street. What you just said. Near the water.
Did you hear what you just said?
Those are white people in Philadelphia.
But you're assuming that women are cooking.
If you go into the Thanksgiving parade, you probably are traditional, because, like, you know, you're not that progressive. I'm generalizing. I'm so sorry.
What?
Please forgive me for all of the queers and the gender non-conforming people that are going down to the parade. Peace be upon you. Anyway, Antoinette, I am.
Wait, Thanksgiving is your favorite holiday? I just read that on the.
It is.
Really?
I love Thanksgiving. It's slowly deteriorated. My love and appreciation for it has deteriorated since I've started a business, but because the day after Thanksgiving is Black Friday, so that's always like, you can't really do nothing. But I love Thanksgiving.
Why?
I love the anticipation for food.
Oh,
like, I would starve myself. Girl, it's much better
than Thanksgiving
Christmas.
Food?
Huh?
Do you cook Thanksgiving food?
Can
you hear me?
I did. Kind of.
Oh no.
You're looking real Metro PCS over there.
Oh, it's my mom. Everyone, I'm in Philly right now. And my mom has the worst internet. Oh man, it's gonna be tricky.
It's giving Android.
You're lucky I even have my recordings. I'll get into my stuff. I am in Philly. My lovely mother is downstairs watching Black Panther.
The first one, of course, right?
Yeah, she's watching Black Panther because I said maybe I could actually watch Wakanda Forever, like go to the movies. They probably have tickets around here because I don't think any of the whites are going to see it. And she said, "What's that?" Panther. And I said, "It's Black Panther too, basically." And I never saw Black Panther. And I said, "Well, Mom, I have Disney Plus for you. We could put it on." We put it on, and the first thing, she's looking at Angela Bassett's outfit, and she goes, "I think I would look really nice in that. I want that. Not the hat. I don't look good in hats, but that that collar on that dress. And I said, look at her colonizing just this fast.
Look at her, ready to appropriate.
She not getting it though. She like, what are they saying? So I was like, turn the captions on. So I had to leave her. But anyway, I am here because I had to Veterans Day. I'm in the bathtub. I'm like, all right, I'm not feeling well. I'm going to rest. I'm thinking about the listeners. I'm thinking about you. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to rest this weekend. Bum, bum, bum. I can't wait. Take care of myself. Get a call from my sister. My mother, unfortunately, I'll get into it more the next episode because it ties into gratitude. But she is currently having a health scare. She was in the hospital. She's home, thank God, but I just hauled ass out of New York home and have been here ever since. I can't even believe I had the mind for like that. I had the forethought to be like, all right, pack your podcast stuff, but I did. And luckily, I had 2 bags of dirty clothes in my trunk that I'm living out of right now. I'm living out of my laundry bags. I washed them here, so that worked out. But it's just been a lot. Rest did not come. Lots of stress came, lots of realizations around the mortality of my parents, of myself, lots of conversation around last wishes, wills, executors between my mom and I, her husband, my godmother. Oof, and we're entering that part of our lives where we become the caretakers, and it's hard to see it. It's hard to, I don't know. I still, whenever anything happens and I'm confused, I still call my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the idea of that shifting or that not being, I don't know, it just is a lot to take in. And then it's just, she was in and out of the hospital a couple times, and I'm fucking fighting nurses and doctors. And I just want to say that if you're ever, I want the listeners to really advocate for themselves with healthcare providers. If you feel like something's wrong with you, you make sure that you push back on them if they're telling you that, oh, it's just stress, or oh, it's just this, or and then you wind up in the hospital the next day again. You push back on them, and you make sure, most importantly, that if they are refusing to run a certain test or give you a certain kind of care, that shit is documented that they refused it. It changes real quickly when you say, I want that on my chart, that I asked for this and you're refusing. I want that on my release, or, on my release papers, that I asked for X. You are saying that it's not hospital protocol and you're sending me home without it. Mm-hmm. Because, the way that nothing was more frustrating for the last, I don't know, what is today, 5 or 6 or 6 days than the actual healthcare workers and the policies. And at one point, my mother was not responsive, and I'm rushing her into the hospital, screaming at everybody, telling them that I need a wheelchair, and they're asking me for her insurance card. Like, I blacked.
Business girlfriend.
Yeah, it's not just a business. I feel like the way that people are trained oftentimes in the medical field, or maybe not trained, maybe it happens over time because they're so overworked, is like they take the humanity out of the work and it's just another person. My 62-year-old mom stayed on a stretcher all night. There was a bed in the hospital somewhere, and you had this woman stay on a stretcher where I'm putting pillows under her so that the metal rod isn't sticking into her back. Like, she had to help with her own IV because the nurse couldn't get it in. And she's a nurse. Shit like that, where it's like, what? I don't know. And just the attitudes, the approach to the patients and their family is just really not anything I will wish on anyone else. So I am very grateful that right now she's downstairs, she's resting, watching Black Panther, imagining dresses.
Feeling energy to Miss Judy. Everybody.
Yeah. So if everybody could just send some energy to my mother, that would be so. I would be so grateful because I've never been more scared in my life.
Yeah, I know.
So rest will come, but I don't give a fuck about that right now. So I'm home. And I think we need to do another episode on what it means to be a caretaker because this shit ain't easy either.
Especially of your parents, because the power dynamics, they resent the power dynamic shift. You resent the power dynamic shift.
It's a power dynamic shift. It's also, you have to recognize that the world kept moving in terms of technology, and they just. So it's so important that we stay on top of this shit, Shanti, because the last thing you want to do is to be getting nervous around. You can't schedule a doctor's appointment because you don't know how to use the portal. You can't, like, all of these things I'm seeing, like, holy shit, the world kept moving. You know, I'm making all of these doctor's appointments for her, and her husband, God bless him, comes over and he can't keep up with it. He's much older than her, and he has a loose leaf piece of paper and a ruler, and he starts drawing on the paper, and I'm looking at him like, what the fuck? He's making a calendar, and he's putting Monday, Tuesday. Listen, he can't take it in any other way. I wrote it down. He can't. So all of these things are important. I'm looking at these virtual. I had somebody try to ask me out on he called it VR, and he was like, do you have a VR headset? And I was like, for a date. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He doesn't live here. VR, do you have a VR headset? And I had to look it up, and I was like, virtual reality. You want me to go on a date with you virtually in a virtual reality? Like, what? Oh, Lord. And I'm tempted to even do it just so I can keep up and understand what's going on. You gotta buy the headset, though? That's where he lost me. I'm not buying a headset. But I'm thinking about Jolie. I'm thinking about, you need to be up on what this virtual reality is. What kind of trouble can we get into in this virtual reality? What effects does it have on folks? Of shit. Exactly. So
metaverse, baby.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Real. And we're brushing it off like, oh, that shit's crazy. These kids are nuts. But it's so important that we keep our finger on the pulse so that we can function, you know, later on in life. I don't have no kids. Who the fuck's going to be doing this for me? Tell JoJo.
Tell JoJo, Sean, all the young kids. But
I be like, sorry. I know you got your mother,
that's the importance. And even if it's not your own children, but like being intergenerational, having that community. Yeah. I feel like that's really scary when you're by yourself, you're isolated. Oh, to age in America. Oof.
Yeah, not easy. Not easy.
Wish that on anybody.
Anyway, we're going to change the energy. I needed it. I know certain people are going to be like, why the fuck are you not taking a break? Why are you recording?
I asked for y'all. I said it.
You did, but I need a break from what my actual reality is right now. Even if it's 2 hours, I'm lying, 3 hours usually it takes us now, to just talk to my girlfriend and veg out a little bit. And just, you know, so that's why this was important to me. Yeah. Anyway, please rate and subscribe and share around the way, girls. No, deadass. I see a bunch of ratings coming in, new comments. It's funny. I was going through our backlog. So right now, everyone, I'm going through We Were Naughty Girls. And we're up to this is episode 219, and we have not saved the audio files and the descriptions of all of our episodes where the mid-roll ads are in. So I was starting that last night. I only got up to episode 50 because it's so much. It's hard. I was like, this is hard. So I'm copy and pasting the descriptions. I'm seeing all these typos. I'm so embarrassed. I'm fixing that, resaving it. And then some of the files are the audio so low. So I'm downloading that and fixing the audio and replacing it. But I saw, at first I was like, all right, you're being crazy. You shouldn't be doing this because who's really listening to episode 2 and 3? But damn it, if I didn't wake up today and see that the last review said, oh, I don't know where I've been all this time. Love this podcast. I'm going back to the very beginning and starting there. And I said, you know what? It's not in vain. Let's get it right. Let's do it right.
To you. Welcome to the evolution. What a journey.
By the time that poor soul listens to this, it might be 2 years from now. But shout out to you, sis, because you are helping us put our best foot forward and get our shit together. But boy, oh boy, I was really proud of us too. Going back and just seeing where we started. We had no format. We had one topic that we were just talking about for an hour, saying the same shit over and over again. Oh my God. And then it was just a lot of it was a mess. I was a little embarrassed, but now I think we got a little groove. Huh?
I agree.
Yeah. So shout out to y'all. Thank you for going back and fetching it. We love a Sankofa moment. Anyway, hot shit. I don't even know why I put half of this on here because I ain't listened to half of this. WizKid has a new album. I have not listened to it. I tried to listen to it and it made me nervous in the car because I was driving my sister home. She rushed down here as well and she had to work, driving her back to Jersey City. And then I was like, I'm going to go get my cat. I went and got my cat. And then I tried to listen to it when I was driving down again. I spent like 3.5 hours in the car and it made me so nervous. I don't know why.
It made you nervous?
I think I was so hyped up on like adrenaline that I just needed nothing. I just needed nothing. And so I was just driving. But I need to check it out because I love WizKid. And if anybody is
Everybody says it's good.
Yeah, I love WizKid. And do you want to go to his concert?
He has a concert in March. I don't know much about WizKid, but sure, let's go.
No, for real, because the tickets are like $200, so you gotta like him. He's a star. Don't make that fake like he's a star.
Okay, no, my bad. No, I'm good.
All right, well, maybe you might see me alone at the WizKid concert
in March.
What'd you say?
I might become a fan between now and March, though. So.
Well, we got to get the tickets now, Sheila. Well, and no, you got to save your money for Beyonce. That's the most important part.
Girl.
And Rihanna. I don't know if I want to see Rihanna.
I don't want to see Rihanna. Although I've heard from people that I respect their taste that it's an amazing show.
I've seen her live.
You have? When?
Yeah. I saw her with Jazz she was a young buck. She was opening for Kanye.
Yeah,
for the Glow in the Dark tour. No. She was fine. She was running all over the stage being cute.
That's not the same.
I don't want to hear her live. Shout out to Rihanna. We love you. Sorry. Let's move on. I got nervous.
You said what?
I got nervous because I said something bad about Rihanna. Not bad, but it was a little shady. Anyway. Nas also has a new album.
Nobody cares. I love you, Nas, but nobody cares. Well, apparently there's all this controversy about Nas because 21 Savage said that he's irrelevant and all the old heads are like up in arms, really upset, just gnawing at their gums and freaking out about it. But I think for like so many, for that generation, he is irrelevant.
Wow.
To them. He is to them. He's irrelevant. I posted a Little Richie excerpt recently. That. And somebody was like, who's that? And I was like, wow.
Somebody said that?
Somebody posted, who's that? And he's irrelevant to them. Like he's so relevant. If you see the arc of like culture, what an irrelevant human being he is. But
oh my God, that was the meanest thing. That if you see the arc of human culture, what an irrelevant human being he is.
A relevant human he is. What
What?
irrelevant, if you look at pop culture, if you look around gender, if you look around
Oh, you're
sexuality,
talking about
homosexuality.
Little Richie. I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about Nas saying that if you look at the art of human
No,
culture, how
no,
irrelevant he is. I was like,
no.
damn.
If you have a full scope of hip
Oh,
hop,
he
you
was
know how relevant Nas is. But
okay.
from your point of view, and you're like, what our context for that for 21 Savage is what, like 13 years of his
I'm
life or something? Like,
I'm gonna say this. I think Nas
Nas is
gets a
not
lot
relevant.
more credit than he might deserve based off of the first album. You better eat them utts right in the microphone. I love it. I do. And I'm not even being funny. I love it. The first album, but he didn't have like a serious 10 out of 10 or even 9 out of 9 or 7 out of 7 album after that. Did
But he
he?
ate up Jay-Z and Ether, and that was iconic.
Oh,
Ate him
that was
up.
it.
Still, like,
Not everybody agrees with that.
well, I would like to know who doesn't agree with that, because he had Jay-Z freaking out. He had Jay-Z going below the belt.
And now
Anyway.
look at Jay. You're right. Maybe. I don't know. But shout out to Nas. I haven't listened to that either. And I probably won't, but I should before I judge. But I'm happy that he's still doing music.
To stay in
And
the
other,
vein of music, let me just, it's music relevant. We're not
she
gonna go
cut
back
me
and forth,
off.
you understand?
Okay.
Nick Hakim has a new album. Now let me tell you something.
Who that?
Not everybody knows about Nick Hakim.
I don't
But
know. I'm
Nick
gonna Google him right
Hakim
here.
looks like Jon Snow, okay?
Oh.
Nick Hakim is a he's like white and Puerto Rican, or he's something.
He cute.
That
I see
white
him.
boy,
I like him in his
girl.
beanie. I like him in the beanie. Wait, now that I'm still scrolling, it's getting tricky over here.
He's
I don't know.
no, he's cute.
No.
Anyway, if there's in my taste of white men, I
What's his
really like
vibe?
Nick
What's he
Hakim.
do?
And he dates black girls. And you know this man. He plays it's kind of, I don't know how you describe his music, but I really like the new album. It's called Cometa, and it's basically like a love. He's definitely in love in this album. It's very much in love. It's something you could like turn on with your partner, lay down in bed, and like have a nice fun time with them through the whole album. So
I
check out
love
Nick
that.
Hakim's new album. I really listen. I said, Nick,
Who put you on,
and we
Rashir?
could listen to the album together. No, I knew about Nick Hakim for years ago. I think he opened up for Erykah Badu recently. He's like on the fringe. He's like,
okay. He sings. What does he do? Play
alternative R&B. No, he plays instruments and he sings. He's the lead. He's the vocalist of this.
Oh, dope. Okay.
So,
Speaking of turning some shit on and having some fun with your partner, Jonathan Majors is currently on a press tour. And after a long night of stress, a long day of stress, long evening of stress, just stress all over the place.
Long life of stress.
Life. I have laid in bed at night and scrolled on my phone and saw and was irrationally angry with Jennifer Hudson. And it was crazy. I saw a video of him feeding her Garrett's popcorn. It was the way he popped it in her mouth, the way his shoulder moved as he gestured towards her, the way the veins in his forearms rolled when he opened the can.
I love forearm veins.
Girl, haven't I talked about this on here? Forearm veins.
Forearm veins.
My God, my God. That man, and he's going to be on The View soon as well. So I cannot wait to see how he handles those ladies, because they going to be hot to trot where they be just acting out now. But he's on this press tour. And if you just go on to YouTube and you just type in Jonathan Majors right now, so many videos will pop up of him just being dapper and quirky, but confident and humble and just delicious. And And you've ruined that for yourself. And
I really feel some type of way about John right now. And I'll work through it.
You've ruined him. You know
For
how you have that
myself.
dream,
I knew it too. I knew it about him, and I
but
should
you
have just looked
ruined
away.
the possibility of the two of you. Because remember, you had that dream, and you were like, I just feel like one day we're gonna be in the same room
I
as
will
him.
be in the same room as him.
But girl, I would hate on you so
But
hard, and I
Antoinette,
feel
you
like
have to
I have
understand that even if I was in the same room with him, I'm not his flavor.
I'm gonna say this: just because he dated more than one white woman does not mean that's all he dates.
All right.
Are you really believe that?
I really believe that he's into white girls. I do.
And that's it exclusively.
Maybe not
I don't.
but I don't know if I'm his. It lessens my level of confidence around him.
Oh no! Now he shouldn't have anything to do with your level of confidence, girl.
No, I do. I think I wouldn't feel. I would be like, maybe I'm not that attractive to him.
Well, I think if there was any woman that he would be attracted to, it would be you. He would look and be like, who is this quirky, very interestingly dressed, funky, fresh woman who's bright and funny and
brown, gross, yucky.
No. All right, that's enough.
Flaccid.
No. This beautiful smile. God, she's unassuming in a way.
Girl, talk about it.
I'm telling you, that's how he would see. That's how he would see you. He would look right past my little white ass and be like, whoa, her nose is too wide, her lips are too big, and so is her body. Next. But he would see your little pointy nose. And he would say,
it's not pointy. It's rather...
Your nose is skinny and pointy. I love it. You've got like a little
what
narrow...
is it? It's an Arab nose. What is this?
You want to be Indian so bad. It's like an Indian Middle Eastern vibe. I don't know. It's so interesting to me. I look at your face and I'm like, where is the white and black? Where is it?
You haven't ever seen my grandma. I used to see my dad's nose. I have my dad's nose.
I know you have your dad's nose. I've met your
and
black
I look
grandma.
Like my grandma. Wait, her nose too. That's where
you know that I met her, right?
You did?
I went to her house. Wow.
Grandma Rosanna?
Shanti. Yes, I met her.
2113 North 66th Avenue. You know that's how I learned my address. Anyway. I don't remember that, but I'm happy that you saw her and that you were very much a part of my life and all of the people in it.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me. But
anyway, y'all, Jonathan Majors, I think Shanti still has a chance. I would hate on it. I would be jealous. I wouldn't even hate on it. I'd be happy for you, but I would be so jealous. And I would probably try to record it if I could.
Not me tipsy and with Jonathan, boy.
Oh, you would be like, what's up with you? Oh, you get him. Anyway, politics as usual.
Uh-oh.
Georgia is still very, very much important to the Senate. Now, here's the update. I was annoyed when the last episode ran that it ran and we did know that we held the Senate, but I was like, if we hold the Senate, it was driving me crazy, but that's fine. We held on to the Senate, we meaning the Democrats. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. And I want to make clear that Georgia voters, it's very important that they still vote in this runoff between Hershel fucking... Every time
Did you see that video?
I'm about to say it. About the vampires. Oh, not that one. The other one, that had me cracking up. Oh, the vampires. You didn't hear that Hershel Walker video?
No.
The vampire video? All right. Now you got something to listen to. So anyway, Hershel Walker is doing his stuff thizzle now. And I want to explain, just because we have right now the Senate is tied between Republicans and Democrats, but obviously Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, will be the tie-breaking vote to pass anything through the Senate. So that's why everybody's like, oh, the Republicans held on to the Senate. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
The Republicans held on to the Senate.
Excuse me, Democrats. I'm losing it. No, Democrats held on to the Senate because it's tied between Republicans and Democrats, and Kamala Harris will be the deciding vote.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just messed that up again. It's not tied. We have 50. They have 49. If they win Georgia, they will have 50 and will still.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But it's important for Georgia to still be won because not all Democrats fall in line and all vote in the same way as each other. So that means you would need all of the Democrats to agree. And we know that we have Kristen fucking Sinema and other folks that act a rank ass fool and make all these demands and block things. So it would be great to also have Georgia. It's also really important that Georgia does not have Hershel Walker as their senator. And I don't know if I need to explain this. So I'm just going to play this clip.
Good and cool. And I'm thinking, what? I'm going to tell you to keep the faith. Oh, you ever watch a stupid movie late at night, hoping it's going to get better, don't get better, but you keep watching it anyway? Because the other night, I was watching this movie. Called Freak Night, or some type of night, but it was about vampires. I don't know if you know vampires are cool people, are they not? But I'm going to tell you something that I found out. A werewolf can kill a vampire. Did you know that? I never knew that, so I didn't want to be a vampire anymore. I wanted to be a werewolf. But then anyway, as I'm watching this movie, and then you can tell how stupid it is because it's 1 a.m. So I'm watching my TV. These kids watching their TV, vampire kill on their TV. So you know it's kind of stupid, but I'm still watching though. As I'm watching this show, what was funny, these kids had a vampire in their attic at their house. So they were watching their TV. Now I'm watching my TV, they're watching their TV, or they see the vampire killer on their TV. So they win this contest to bring this actor. Now y'all got to stay with me. Bring this actor who's a vampire killer from their TV to get rid of this real life vampire in their attic. So as this actor comes to their home, he got all the right stuff. Because, you know, got to have a stake and got to have a thing to kill him in the heart. And he got a necklace of garlic because that worked. I don't know what it does, but it worked. Got to have a cross because it burns. I know that worked. And then all of a sudden, this is what was so funny about it. As they're walking through the house, this guy got the holy water. He's blessing the house, this actor. Now, he's all fake. He's blessing the house with his holy water. They walked upstairs and this vampire looking real good in this black suit. Whoa, that sounds like Senator Warnock, doesn't it? Looking all good in this black suit, floated from the ceiling. He floated from the ceiling looking good and cool. And I'm thinking, whoa, they better get out of that house. If somebody float from your ceiling, get out of that house. That's not your house. But as he floated from the ceiling, the kids jumped behind their hero. As they jumped behind that hero, the guy jumped in front of him with this holy water, threw it on the vampire's forehead. He covered his eye. Then he took his hand away. He started laughing. And he said, that don't work. He took the cross, he put it on the vampire's forehead. And the vampire didn't even do anything. He said, that don't work. And that's the way it is in our life. It doesn't work unless you got faith. It is time for us to have faith. We got to have faith in our fellow brother. We got to have faith in this country. We got to have faith in the elected officials. And right now, that's the reason I'm here.
What?
That's a real clip. And I know that clip is too damn long to be playing on a podcast. But I'm going to play that whole clip. That's how important it is that Georgia votes right now. And the fact that there are Republican voters, almost, I think, how many votes did he get? 2 million? Hershel Walker. I believe that he got close to 2 million votes. The fact that there are that many people that are willing.
You say faith, Antoinette?
He did.
Faith. You people are like, yes.
Not 2 million.
You say a bunch of gibberish and then end it with you gotta have faith. Niggas gonna be like, yep. See, that's the guy. That's the way I was raised. That's the type of
1,907,272 people voted for him.
Girl, that's some numbers you just read off. I would have been a little bit nervous to read.
I was nervous, but I can't be on here sounding like Hershel Walker. And this is not to make fun of anybody who, you know, has a southern, because some people are like, oh, they making fun of him because he has a southern accent, drawl. No, he ain't say nothing on that clip now. And then you have nothing.
What did the faith have to do with anything?
I thought what he was gonna say was that he's a werewolf and Raphael Warnock is the vampire, and he's dressed up real nice. But little do you know, he's
you got to become
deadly.
a speechwriter on the low.
That's where I thought it was going.
That would have made
the garlic
sense.
doesn't work. The cross doesn't work. The only thing that's going to work is him, the werewolf. And then he just said
that
would
have been a good. But he said, but you just got to have faith. What?
Yo,
did he even get defeated? Like, he didn't even show how did faith defeat him?
I don't know. He just said faith because somebody told him say faith. And then he was like, and I was watching the TV on the TVs and the other TVs and the TV. What?
Somebody sat there with him and went over that speech 17 times.
And that's finally
was just like,
they should be literally. And I know that you're like, the fact that you think that Democrats aren't as bad as Republicans. No, they aren't. The fact that these Democrats are flying down there and saying, vote for Hershel Walker.
Republicans, Antoinette. Republicans.
I'm tired. I'm so sorry. Republicans,
listen.
Y'all. I might have to edit this out the way I did Brazil that time. The way the stress takes over my brain doesn't even function right. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You had
raising all kinds of money for that man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of money.
Because he's...
Republicans win the House. Now, we knew that was going to happen. I called that. I said, ain't no way in hell we keeping the House now. But they won by a very slim margin. And we went over last week as to why that's important. Because, again, the Republicans are going to have to deal with Marjorie Taylor Greene and her Freedom Caucus ass. And they crazy. Now, what does this mean for Democrats? What does it mean for Republicans? Well, we waited for the Republicans to release their agenda. And there is no agenda. What they want to do... They want to investigate Hunter Biden.
Investigate Hunter Biden's finances. His fucking best life. Leave him alone.
And they want to investigate Joe Biden and his finances and bring him up for possible impeachment. Based off of what grounds? Some conspiracy theory shit. Some about an art gallery. Girl, I don't know. It's a hot ass mess. They want to investigate who started COVID-19 and quote unquote, make them pay.
Okay.
They want to cut funding to Ukraine.
I ain't mad at that. Go ahead.
Sorry. Damn, Shanti.
I'm not mad at that. Go ahead.
All right. And all their stuff is just basically it's a bunch of investigations. And they are basically trying I don't even know what to say about this because I think it's going to backfire terribly. I think what the midterm election showed is that Americans are fucking sick of the circus and they want some real work done. They took many polls on what Americans are worried about. They are worried about fentanyl trafficking. They are worried about the economy. They are worried about immigration. They're not worried about Hunter Biden. They're not interested in impeaching Joe Biden.
They are worried about fentanyl trafficking. Are you sure the Republicans? That's not the list of the broad Republican-based worries.
You doing that thing. You doing that city thing. You got to think about all these motherfuckers all over the country. I just read it today. Fentanyl trafficking is high on their list because there's so many overdoses from fentanyl. High on the list. Huh? That's what they call it, yeah.
Why don't they talk to the pharmaceutical companies? Anyway.
Wait, what?
Feels like that's a pharmaceutical. Feels like that's a way you can track where those type of drugs are coming from, no?
Well, no, the drugs are coming in from other places. The illegal fentanyl, where these other drugs are being laced with it and people are dying. That's the concern.
What is fentanyl? Anyway, I need to go. Is that like a preservative? Like, why are they just fucking up their own supply like that? Like, who just let me put a little bit of poison in this shit real quick.
I think it's a cheap way to make it and to maximize it and to quadruple it. Instead of making it pure, they have these other laces that are more dangerous. The things that they lace it with. Anyway, I just think it's going to backfire. I think I said speaking of money because this is a waste of time and it's a waste of fucking money. This is American tax dollars paying for all this bullshit. And it's just like, for what? And it's obvious for political reasons. They're pissed that Trump was brought up with, investigated the way he has been investigated. But I just feel like deservedly. But okay, I guess Hunter Biden is fishy. Fine. I'll tell you what, they better not find nothing on Joseph Robinette. I'm be irritated. Like, Joe.
What you mean?
Joe.
What you mean?
I don't
Joe's
know.
like, I don't know where I am right now. What?
Anyway, moving right along. Speaking of the orange man, Trump announces his presidential run. I think hopefully everybody knew that was coming. I've been saying it. He also announced that he wants to give drug dealers the death penalty. So his circus is starting. He's already, at his rally saying whatever he had to say. When he announced, he made no mention of a stolen election, and he made no mention of January 6th, which of course he wouldn't. But he's not touting that stolen election thing. I think that somebody got in his ear and was like, "That is a losing argument.
What the fuck up?
Please shut up." But even his crowd seemed flaccid. He seemed flaccid. I really believe the only reason why he's running is to stay out of jail, because of the committees that are all investigating him. Because now he can just say, "Oh, you're investigating me because this is all for political gain, and you don't want me to become president." So everything is political. Oh, I don't have any of my words anymore.
Strategy,
tactics, yeah. So we'll see what happens there. I do think that Trump running, I keep saying, and I think this is my hope, that he will split the Republican vote, because I don't see the Democrats having, where is the candidate? Joe keeps saying, my intention is to run. And I'm like,
Joe, you need to take rest.
You need
to take leave.
But hopefully
you did a lot, Joe.
He did. He really,
relax.
In all honesty, in 2 years, he did do a lot.
He really did.
I really feel like he helped save this country and democracy in a very real way. And for that, we're grateful.
Yeah, but there needs to be somebody up. Pass the baton, Joe.
Yeah, so we'll see. But the Republican Party is fractured. They have to figure out if they're the Republican Party, the Trump Party, or the DeSantis Party, or somebody else. Because now Mike Pence's raggedy ass is doing all these interviews, which I don't have any respect for. Everybody's talking about how brave he is to denounce Trump now and to speak out about January 6th. Well, you should have spoke out about January 6th when January 6th happened, and you should have went before the committee and testified, but you didn't. You're out selling a fucking book and positioning yourself to run for president. I have no respect for that. I said it. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. I pray to God that we don't think that Trump has no, chance in hell, and then there he comes. And the Republican Party, he gains steam, and they're forced to back him.
Yes, as the campaigning gains momentum, I'm curious to see what his narrative is. I'm really curious to see, just like you said, what all these what's the Republican narrative that's going to get the people going? Because they were on the pendulum is swinging, boy. Where is it going to go?
Yeah, and what's going to happen with these investigations into
what are Democrats saying? Like, how do Democrats appeal to the mass of middle America? What do they say? Because this woke shit isn't working.
No.
It isn't.
No.
Sorry to everybody that affects. But
Democrats have to focus on redistricting, because a lot of the redistricting. So they have to focus on the gerrymandering, making sure that the Republicans redistrict a lot of voting areas. And that's how they kept the House, not because they really, voters love Republicans so much. I mean, they redistrict stuff to make it so that they kept certain House members. So Democrats need to focus. That's not messaging, but that's more actionable things that they need to do. I think the message is around, they're going to keep talking about democracy, making sure that democracy is upheld, making sure that that we're really doing things that are in alignment with our core values. They're going to talk about, and they're always going to talk about healthcare and making sure people have healthcare. They're always going to talk about jobs, and there are more jobs now than I believe I read that there's more jobs now than when Trump was in office. They're going to talk about the debt and the fact that the debt is lower with Joe Biden than it was with Trump. These are not winning arguments because people want to talk about everyday pocketbook conversations. Where's the economy now?
How much relief threat? You know, like Republicans have this, like, I'm gonna relieve you of these threatening things, and Democrats are
Democrats have to prove that the Republicans are the threat, and if the Republicans play into that, you know, the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Trumps, they can play into that and scare those independents into being like, oh, we can't go back down that way. We got to stay with NATO. We got something to talk about with NATO later too. But I don't know. Both parties need to huddle and figure it out. Because,
1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah. Speaking of Democrats, I just want to give Nancy Pelosi her fucking flowers. She announced today, November 17th, that she is going to step down after almost 2 decades of leadership in the House. She's not stepping down from her role as a member of the House of Representatives. She's been in Congress for 35 years. That will continue, but she is not going to seek re-election as the House leader. She wouldn't be the Speaker of the House because we don't have the majority anymore. She's the first woman speaker ever. And right now, ever for either party. She will most likely tap Hakeem Jeffries, who is a House of Representatives person from New York, and everyone speaks very highly of him. He's very liberal, which is very interesting, but not so liberal like AOC, but he is very progressive. He would be the first African American to ever hold House leadership as well. I want to say that Nancy Pelosi was a homemaker. Her father was a congressman, but she started out as a wife, a mother of 5 children.
Oh, damn.
And then she came to Congress. Then she pursued a career in politics. She came to Congress and there were only 12 women in Congress. They're now over 90. And I just love her. People from both sides of the aisle, both Democrat and Republican, are speaking. Newt fucking Gingrich came out and was like, she's probably the most competent and effective House Speaker that ever was and might ever will be. She never had a huge majority, even when she was majority leader in the House, when the Democrats were in power. And so when you have that slim margin, there's always people who don't fall in line. And, you know, the last couple of years, she had the squad, AOC and her girls on her back, riding her about what they wanted to see happen and this and that. It's really hard to appease everyone and to convince everyone to vote in certain ways. And also, nobody raised more money than her for these House campaigns. So big shout out to her. I'm gonna do more research into her, but you know, she just had that attack on her husband. She's 82, I believe. She deserves fucking rest, and she's still gonna be in Congress. And I'm really happy that we're gonna have her there to help whoever comes into that leadership position to shepherd them along. But I hope it is Hakeem Jeffries. I think he would be great as well. But shout out to Nancy Thug Thizzle Pelosi. I love that picture. I want it on a shirt, that picture of her standing up in that room full of men and pointing down at Trump. Remember that? Oh, I gotta send it. It's so powerful. She's in her pantsuit and she's standing up doing this at him over like the oval table and just in a room full of a bunch of fucking white men, and she's giving it to him like, fuck you. She's just a force to be reckoned with. So big shout out to her. Anyway,
not a big shout out to Mitch McConnell, who I didn't know he is married to an Asian woman
who Trump talks mad shit about, and Mitch McConnell would just fall in line with Trump and do whatever he said.
Mitch is various. Mitch is giving various. What's his name? Various vibes. He does what he got to do for the realm. He just like, listen, I got to do what I got to do. Fuck what you heard. Anyway, he voted against a Marriage Equality Act, a bill that would codify federal protections for same-sex and interracial marriages.
He wasn't the only one.
But it's nigga, you are in a interracial marriage. Oh, I just love people. People are interesting.
They're sick. They are sick, Shanti. Seriously.
Shout out to Mitch. Nah, Mitch is like, I'm very, this for the realm. I do what I gotta do. Fuck your feelings. Like, fuck Chung. What's her name?
Who?
Her name is, his wife's name is something Chung.
Oh, yeah. I just talked about her the other week. She was the one that testified for the January 6th committee. And she still wouldn't throw Trump under the bus, but she resigned
I apologize.
that day.
That was terrible.
I don't think that's her name. Jesus.
Yes, it's Elaine Chao, and I said Chung. Forgive me.
Okay, let's move on. You have another thing right there. Please hurry, please.
No, that's fine. I didn't do a lot of research with that.
Okay, something else to watch. I think this is very interesting. Sadly, a missile hit Poland, killing 2 people. And what was very alarming when that first came out was that they thought that the missile was from Russia. I'm still not convinced it wasn't. But Poland is NATO. Okay? So the rules is if you bomb any NATO place, then all of NATO is coming for your monkey ass, which was why it was so important, why Ukraine wants to be a part of NATO and why Russia doesn't want them to be. Anyway, NATO and Poland are saying that the missiles were not from Russia. Instead, they are saying, unfortunately, it was a stray missile from Ukraine and it was fired by accident. Look at how I wrote that. Like, fried by accident. What's going on? And Ukraine, President Zelensky denies that. He's like,
of course he is. He's like, no, go get them. They did that shit, yo. Exactly. You know he did that, yo. No.
President Zelensky, he reeled it back. He said, there is no way this came from Ukraine. That was a Russian missile. Then he reeled it back and was like, I am saying that missile, I don't believe that came from Ukraine. It's not a Ukrainian missile, y'all. Like, no. Zelensky is like, everybody, let's fuck what you heard. Let's hop on this World War III shit and get these people out of my country. I'm not convinced either way. I watched some of the press conference that our military intelligence gave, and they didn't sound that convincing. They just kept saying, we're gonna let the investigations play out again. And everybody keeps asking, well, how do you know that it didn't come from Russia? Well, intelligence tells us, that we have to let the investigate. I'm like, y'all don't know. Y'all just like, hold up.
First of all, that shit probably says disturbing.
From Putin on it. And they like, nah. No. Shanti, that's scary.
Yeah.
We laughing because it's like the fact that they're just like, no, it couldn't have been Russia. And I'm like, wait, why couldn't it have been?
Why couldn't it have been Ukraine?
I don't think they did that on purpose.
Let's do this thing and then be like, oh, my bad, yo. But
because I don't know if it's strategy. Track where missiles are from.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But all I know is that we are part of NATO and I ain't got time for it. And the fact that we're acting like we're not in a war right now, it's like we're already physically fighting, but like we're kind of funding it. War. Not kind of, but are. So I don't know. It's tricky, but that is definitely something to watch, y'all, because you don't bomb NATO. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. I said, oh. The fucking phone. I got a text from Black and he was like, so somebody just bombed Poland and Poland is NATO. And I was like, oh my God, I don't have time for this. All right, pop culture.
I gotta send you this meme. Anyway,
Please
go ahead.
do. Dave Chappelle. Did you watch the SNL monologue?
Yes, I did. To be completely honest, I am often not excited to see his newer stuff. He bores me, but this was really well done. It was masterful, and I really enjoyed how he handled this.
Me too, and he is getting raked through the coals.
Child.
Raked. They are like, Dave Chappelle is also anti-Semitic, and I'm like, did they listen to what he said? He's getting attacked by the Anti-Defamation League, among many other places.
Anti-Defamation League.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that was a place.
Child.
Is that a place? Look that up.
Anti-Defamation.
It's getting tricky. Maybe I should have just got on the phone and talked to you.
Girl. No, I think that is correct.
Yeah, I just read it. So I thought that monologue, I hope everybody goes on and watches at least just the monologue. I thought the rest of the show was fine. But the monologue I thought was brilliant. I thought that, one, he touched on the mental health aspect of Kanye, where it's like, you know, that woman said, oh, mental health is no excuse for this. And he's like, bitch, yes, it is. Like, he's not well. He touched on, you know, being this larger than life figure and having these brands. And then you say a couple wrong things. That's why he never wanted it. He's like, I don't want a sneaker deal, because when I say something wrong, they're going to take my sneakers away. Mm-hmm. You know, like, he has a way.
He said Kanye got in so much trouble that Kyrie got in trouble.
But that's real. And he's highlighting that, you know, the sensitivity around it. And now you have to, like, really tiptoe. I don't know. I thought and then the end line of him saying, you know, whoever they are, that they empower, leaving us to hopefully have an honest dialogue. And I was happy to see that Jerry Seinfeld spoke out about it.
He did? What Jerry say?
Jerry Seinfeld spoke out about it and was like, Dave Chappelle wants us to have dialogue about this. And was just basically like, I don't think he's anti-Semitic at all. But like, the whole point of his monologue was so that we leave and talk. And like actually have real conversation.
That's not allowed.
Right. And that's what
I think it's just
that's
revealing
what he's highlighting.
More. Yeah, I think all of it is just revealing itself. It's like nigga.
Jon Stewart also spoke about it. And masterful. And I think it's worthwhile to listen to that.
Is Jon Stewart Jewish?
Of course he is. He was talking all about it.
That's another white man that I have a good time with John.
I think that you secretly are like Jonathan Majors, and you're projecting your own shit onto Jonathan.
That is deep.
Because you actually really want white men.
Projection, all we do is project. I want a blonde-haired white man.
I don't even think you want a blonde-haired white man. I think you want a curly-haired, awkward man. Jewish white man.
Not awkward.
Well,
I think it's awkward.
Jon Stewart's a little awkward, and so is Larry David, Sheila.
Let me just... Have you ever seen...
Gotta go.
Larry David's energy when he does his little scenes on a date with a woman?
Yes, I have.
That ain't awkward. That is a flirting god. He gets so like playful. It's fun. Listen, Larry, that nigga's still working too.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
Oh, same
back
time.
To dun 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 dun. I don't know, but I know the people that have the conspiracy theories are like, see, we proved it to you. Can't you see that it's the Jews that are controlling everything? Can't you see it? They're just having a frustrated and yelling.
I think about the folks on the corner of like 125th Street in downtown Philly who are selling
The
those
Black Israelites?
not just the black, not just them, but the folks who are selling the books that are like, probably self-published and just nothing but conspiracy theories
Unsourced.
and those folks, and they're all writing right now ferociously. So it's tricky. And I really hope that somebody will come on here and talk about it in a real way with us, because we have to stop only saying tricky. To really dissect it. There's a lot to dissect. I first need to understand.
Girl,
I need to understand.
Girl, go on YouTube.
No, that's the problem. You have to know your sources.
Look up. Are the Jews controlling the world?
No, that's not. I first need to understand like Jewish culture. Like it's like, what is it? An ethnicity? What is it? Is it a religion? Like what is it?
Judaism is a religion.
Yes, I know that.
Jewish people are the ethnicity, and
that's confusing to me. Can you understand that? It's like
you could be a Jew and be a Christian. You could be a black person and be a Jewish and practice Judaism.
Why? That's confusing to me.
Because it's a religion.
You can be a you said you can be a Jew and be a Christian
that practices Judaism.
I don't understand that you can be a Jew and be a Christian.
Because ethnically, you're like a black person. Like I'm a black Christian. I'm a black Muslim. I'm a black Jew. They can be a Jewish Christian.
Are you saying because
ethnically,
or because of where their lineage, their family line, where they're from?
Their lineage. Yep. And there's different types of
Jews. But wouldn't you just be Sephardic Jews? From?
Say that again.
Wouldn't you just be like where you're from? That's why I sound really ignorant, and I don't want to have this conversation now.
No, I think that's what is the legacy of Jews, is that culturally for thousands of years they have never had a home. They've never had a place in which they settled. And then on top of that, what happened in World War II? So then you have like different types of Jews. You have like Middle Eastern Jews, you have like Israelis, and then you have more European Eastern Jews, which are a lot of the lineage of American Jews are like from Eastern Europe versus Middle East.
I got to deep dive into this. That's what I want somebody to really come on and break it down for us. I have a resource that I might be able to tap into, but I'm sick of asking them to explain me stuff. They're probably sick of explaining
just
stuff
like black people. I'm tired of explaining myself to
y'all. I know, and I get it. Anyway, moving right along. You have Puffy and Carisha. Just when
Puffy
you Kate.
and Carisha they broke up apparently, and there's all these rumors out that he stopped giving her allowance. 50 Cent is jumping and saying that he wants to get with Carisha now.
He playing because he got that lovely lady. I forget her name. Cuban Link or something like that. I was really
hoping that they were going to show us how to do it, and they didn't. And now we're stuck in the same old.
You're stuck. Nobody else was looking for Puffy and Carisha to be their guiding light in love. I promise you that.
You want to know who else is wilding out and showing his motherfucking ass?
Who?
Jason Momoa.
Don't do that. Just because that man is free,
his energy is changing now. I said that's why she she knew what it was. She said you just.
He was chasing that celebrity bug.
I think so.
That fame monster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe
showing his butt. I said, look.
Why can't he show his butt? Culturally,
No, it looked wonderful. I wasn't concerned with that. I don't usually lust after men's asses, but I was like, damn, you got a little thing sitting.
Also, this is I don't know if I should say this. I was at a dinner with friends. And they were talking about when people talk about, maybe I'm just maybe I'm actually not as sexual and I guess quote unquote freaky. I hate that word as I think I am.
Freaky. Grow up.
Childish. But I was feeling childish at this dinner because they were talking about eating of the butt.
Oh, girl.
And they were talking about a couple of them do it, a couple of them love it done. And I was like, well, what do you mean when you say that? Like, what do you mean? And they said that the tongue goes in and out of the hole. And I was shocked. I was like, wait,
Shanti.
you not just licking around there?
All, that is...
Did you know that they're going in the hole and
so
out?
many religious doctrine. Like, you niggas ain't eating pork, but you licking, you are poking a booty hole?
Wait, did you know that? Did you know that was what that meant?
I do not know the art of butt licking. I don't have it done, and I've never done it, and I don't want to explore it. I really don't. I
would be horrified if I felt that. And I know that there's a lot of nerve endings, but like anything else.
There actually aren't that many nerve endings.
There are. No, there's pleasurable points. Use anything else, not your beautiful mouth. What? And they were like, "Oh, you just do it at the end."
Christianity.
I think that we might be lame, yo. What if we're lame?
What
if we're lame? Like, what if we are?
What do you mean lame?
Like, what if
sexually
people are
like
talking about us the way that we talk about them? And
they probably are. Like, you.
Oh my God,
biracial bitches, grow up.
No, but I mean, like, people that we've been with, partners, are like, oh, she was corny.
That's what Antoinette, I already went over this with you. Dude, bitches are, you're out of your mind to think that you're the best that a nigga ever had.
I definitely am.
Psychologically, sexually, or anything. Like,
I was really shocked at that dinner. Really shocked.
This bitch ain't even eat my ass.
Right. And apparently it's happening a lot. But anyway, that was an aside because you brought up his butt.
It feels like...
Not my tongue. Not my tongue.
It just feels unclean.
Yes! That is a canal.
I don't want to taste feces on my tongue. And I don't want to do the work of cleaning out my butthole in
There's no way to clean that out that well. All right? Let's debunk that.
Like the
if there's
actual
a canal
amount of
for
preparation.
waste, you can't clean that out enough for your mouth to go in there
in a healthy way. And if it's too clean, it ain't right.
And the other thing is, if you feel like that, then go stick your fucking tongue in the toilet. Same thing. Clean the toilet and then stick your tongue in it.
That sounds like rude Jude to me. And another thing. And another thing I was thinking
she's rubbing off on me since I'm here, but I really think that, like, hello, if it's really. If you think putting a little enema up there is getting it done, it ain't.
Well, first of all, the sphincter is tight. So you really got to put your fucking tongue in something.
You got to work. My tongue's not even pointy.
Let me see what you would do.
No, I'm too upset.
Neck all hurting?
No.
Jaws hurts.
I need to talk to a man who will be really honest with me.
I don't think I would like that. I think if I were to ever get it done, I want it flat tongue. I want you to like stroke it. I would be upset if you
in and out of the actual hole. That's what they said. Maybe they're doing it wrong.
Yeah, she ain't know how to do it. Girl,
there wasn't one person. It wasn't one person. It was multiple people saying that's it, who do it and have it done.
I don't like that.
Me neither. I'll just have to be lame. I don't like it.
Don't eat my butt. Please don't poke my butt.
Other things, but not your mouth. Your beautiful mouth. No. Anyway, I don't know how I got. It was because you brought up his butt, but it's been sitting with me because I can't forget it. Ugh.
Jonathan Major was like,
"Will I eat his butt? Will I?"
Yeah.
No.
I want to tongue your butt.
No, I will be like, but why?
Why?
Like, what does that do for you? No.
Oh boy, this episode really is.
It's unraveling. I'm sorry. All right, moving on. You have Black Panther. Did you see it?
Girl, no.
Why you write it there?
Like I want to know if you saw it. All I know is similarly to your mom, my white family was like, "Do you want to go to Black Panther?" And I was like, "Can I go with you?" That's the question to the audience. Can I go, mom?
Well, I think I'm going to, because she's down there. I just heard her gasp. She must have.
She's into it now.
Yeah, she's into it. She probably don't know what the fuck is going on or who's who. I'm gonna have to go explain
people are crying and feeling it. If you've been grieving, it's not good to see. Child.
Well, maybe it is good to see. Maybe it's healing. No?
I don't know. But I don't have time to go see it. So you see it and then talk about it on the podcast.
Okay, moving right along. When will the disrespect towards Kelly Rowland end? I don't know if it ever will.
Let me tell you something. Kelly the fuck Rowland is blooming, blossoming, illuminating. Girl. Who sent you that?
I'm sorry, y'all. I haven't been in my DMs, and I see my DMs, and Shanti sends me. If you're on Patreon, you'll see what it was. That Shanti.
That's the gyrating joint you was talking about.
All right, keep
that
talking.
You want to put on the floor.
Keep talking.
That thing looks like it hurts a little bit. That thing looks like it is thinging.
Just keep talking. Kelly Rowland.
Kelly Rowland.
Should I play the clip?
Is remarkably, obviously, increasingly just attractive in all of the ways. She looks good. She feels good. She feels good in her body and her family and her life and her spirit and her interests and what the fuck she has going on for her. Kelly is living, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm increasingly obsessed with her and so happy for her. And as her own being, like back in the day, I can admit, whenever I saw Kelly, in my mind, it was always, always in the shadow of Beyonce in a way. That's how I viewed her. Child, I look at her, I be like, listen, girl.
Well, we're talking about this because she was on Ebro's morning show.
Who?
Ebro. No, Ebro?
Yes.
I love that for you.
I said, who is that white man?
That's white? Rosenberg. That's his sidekick. Anyway, listen.
Ability to play second to Beyonce, which for so many, everyone who gets, I can only speak for me, everyone who gets in the entertainment business gets into it to be the man, right? Just me working with Ebro takes my own ego. Hates it. Yeah, hates it. It's my own. My ego has to be in check, even though when he's not here, I'm like, you know what? I kind of prefer Ebro come back. But it does take an ego check. And you happen to be standing next to the brightest light on planet Earth. Like, you think Big Boy from Outkast has it tough being next to Andre. You were with Beyonce, and not only did you not fight it, it seems like you really loved the position that you were in and took it seriously. And
here's the thing. Light attracts light. I am light. So I am a beautiful brown shining light. So I don't think anybody's light dims anyone else's. I think that when other people start to compare you, I think that that's when it shows how dim they are of themselves. So I don't take somebody else trying to dim my light anymore for anybody else. I love B. I know that she's a light, but I know that I'm a light too.
But it's also created.
And then he keeps going. He didn't stop.
And says what?
Huh?
Continues in reference to Beyonce?
Yeah, he seems to try to clarify it because I think he was trying. I don't think he meant to be disrespectful, even though it absolutely was. And he was absolutely projecting. And he says that he's talking about it bothers him when he's second fiddle to Ebro and all this shit. And he said that he hit her up immediately and apologized after he received all the backlash. But I agree. I'm the same as you. I would see Kelly as second fiddle, yada, yada, yada. And I'm sure that had more to do with me than her. And there is something to be said about the lead singer versus, the rest of the group, where you have Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, those kinds of things. And they all went on to have their own careers. And I don't know. I think my question is like, was his question valid and just worded and executed terribly?
What was his question? Did you ever
I think
feel...
he was trying to get at how do you manage and navigate being next to somebody who's that popular, that big, and still own your own greatness. I think that was what he was trying to get at. And instead, he just did this comparison thing where he, instead of letting her answer, gave her the answer to the question of your second fiddle. And that's going to turn everybody off. Instead of just making it clear that Beyonce is a huge star, you know? And how do you manage that? Like, how do you deal with that? Or what did that have an effect on you? Because that's real too.
I think I personally think the dynamics were different. Mm-hmm. Like Beyonce wasn't, she was big, but she wasn't the star that she was.
That she is now.
That she is now, that she was then. And I think that Kelly has been trained, or I don't know. I would never want to be in her position. Like, I would never want to be in her position, in the way that she has bloomed so beautifully, considering all of the potential ways that she could have felt made to be small. It just shows how amazing she is, and how she doesn't harbor darkness in her in the way that she could. Yeah, she could, because the way that if you look back at those interviews, if you look, like, that shit was kind of, I know it had to have been hard. They were grooming Beyonce to be a star from the jump and to be the lead attraction. Yeah. And I don't know that even if they had given equal space to all of the three girls, I don't know that Kelly could have, I mean, she's fucking Beyonce. I don't know that Kelly could have, taken up that, attracted the attention that Beyonce got anyway.
I think it also, I think about Solange as well, and how the Knowles parents have said that they put Solange and Beyonce in therapy very early, because one, they didn't want Solange to harbor those kind of feelings, and two, Beyonce thought she was a shit a little too early and she needed to simmer down. They talked openly about that. And I know that Miss Tina views Kelly as a daughter. She calls her child, her grandson, like, that's her child, and she raised her for part of her life. So maybe some of that happened as well. I also think there's no way that hard conversations don't happen with Beyonce and Kelly. Like the same way that you and I are close and we have to have hard conversations and be honest with each other, they have to do that. And I hope that their friendship and their sisterhood allows them to navigate all of the outside shit. But I loved her response. I love that she said, I am my own light. Like, light attracts light. And
the fact that she said brown.
Yes.
I think the colorism part of her, this experience that she's had and has, is real. And I think maybe Beyonce and her wokeness now all of a sudden recognizes that. You had that kind of experience, girl. Oh, let me make a song about it.
No, but I also think Beyonce goes out of her way when she does talk to the media. I know for a while she would always talk about how Kelly was she thinks Kelly's the most beautiful woman in the world. In her eyes, she's like, Kelly is drop dead gorgeous, point blank, period. And she is. Always been. Really, but I noticed that there was a shift in her where she was verbalizing that a lot more. And I think that probably has to do with some conversations and some realizations on her part. But what a fumble that was on his part. Ugh. It's really hard to ask these questions. Up with her?
I just would never. That's just the old.
There's so much to talk to her about. Yeah, that she's done in her life. And it also, Beyonce's fucking huge. Like, the next topic. She is now the most Grammy-nominated woman of all time, and she's tied with her husband. which that household, fuck your marriage goals. 83 nominations for both of them, not between them, for both of them. That's insane. She has 9 Grammy noms this year. We'll see if the Grammys actually give her any. You know how they like to do. She's just huge. She's larger than life. And there's no way that folks don't feel a certain way sometimes. I just think as a human, you will. And then you check it, you have the conversation, you keep it pushing. But and that doesn't mean that Beyonce should dim. But everybody's light can shine. There's space. The galaxy's huge. That was corny, but it is like
I was about to say what?
Super corny, but like it really is, and it's tricky to. I know my sister dealt with that with me, and she felt like she needed to be smaller because she saw the difference in how people responded to her and talked to her versus me, and so she would get small, and that's not fair to anyone. So tricky. But Beyonce, here she is, nominated for 9 Grammys. We'll see. She'll just keep adding on to her motherfucking legacy. That one, she is amazing. I think she's gonna grab a couple. I saw Glorilla. That name is so funny to me. She's nominated. Did you know that Nicki Minaj never won a Grammy? I thought that was very interesting. I did
they
not
have a whole
know
trend out here.
Huh?
There's a whole Twitter trend or social media trend where they're poking fun at her, saying Granny never won a Grammy or some shit like that. Like
poking fun. I thought they were caping for her, saying how she should
they were
have.
hating on her. Like, what's it called? Antagonist, trolling her.
Damn, that's not necessary either. Amanda Gorman is up for a Grammy. You know who that is?
Yes, she wrote
the best. She has a best spoken word album Grammy nom. She during was it? I can't even get my years right. Was it Obama or Biden?
Obama.
It was Obama that she really.
I think so.
That she read
Who
her.
Who knows? Let me look.
I can't remember now. God, we're old. It might have been Biden. Might have been more recent, and Obama and Michelle were there. But she spoke at one of the... It was
Biden, right?
It was Biden, yeah, right? That was more recent. At his inauguration. Jasmine is up for 3 Grammy noms. I thought it was 2, but it's 3. Best R&B Performance, Best R&B Song for Hurt Me So Good, and Best Traditional R&B Performance, which is Round Midnight with Adam Blackstone. My thing that made me really happy was seeing Samira Joy. That's that young jazz artist that I'm always putting on my stories, and I played on See the Thing Is, and they made fun of me because I was like, I really like her. She's up for Best New Artist, not even jazz like Best New Artist in general. She probably won't get it, but I feel she is absolutely the best new artist, the best new vocalist by far. Along with Money Long, Lotto, and Toby. How do you say his last name? You know I'm talking about, the rapper boy who's married to Fat. I don't know how to say his last name.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's good. Their little glow up is cute.
I love them. So that'll be exciting. We'll see if Beyonce performs. Maybe she'll give us a visual before then.
Girl, Beyonce said, y'all
She's playing with us. She really is right now. But I don't know. As we all continue to add on to our legacy, let's just make a promise to keep shining our light and allowing others to shine through and illuminating others' lights as we shine. That's all we can do. None of us need to dim. And I don't know. I couldn't be Beyonce's friend because I'd just be staring at her. Excited.
Girl. And
poor Kelly. What? I'm losing it. Let's go.
Kelly grew up with her. Kelly was like, girl.
I know. People feel that way about jazz. And she ain't even as big as a star. They be like, oh my God. I'm like, what? So I get it. I'm sure Kelly probably got so many stories on that lady. Like, if y'all only knew. She a hot ass mess.
For real.
But hey.
All
right. Well, I don't know how good this episode was, but here it is.
Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, God. After I just said we're so proud of how far we've come. We'll reel it in next time. Bye.
This the other one can't be an hour and a half, huh?
No, it won't be. It won't be. It'll be fast. Sheesh.